Southern Baptists really began to organize on a real serious level. In 1917, the Executive Committee was formed to oversee all Southern Baptist schools. Now, the good thing was this. The Executive Committee is re-elected every single year, so you don't have the same people on there. Every year, you have a fresh group. 1919. Oh, this is a biggie. This is what really started making the denomination strong. There's something called a cooperative program. Have you heard that? The idea of a cooperative program is this. Is each church tied to their association. For an example, Waipio Community Baptist Church was tied to, we go in right straight to the state convention, but let's say the state of Texas, where you've got something like 35 or 40 different counties that have their own local association. You would tie to that. The local association ties into the state, and the state ties into the National Southern Baptist Convention. Now, it worked like a charm because we have 5 seminaries. And the seminaries that we have is Southern out of Kentucky. We have New Orleans. Do you know where New Orleans Seminary is located? You got it! Give her a hand, folks. We have Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, which I am a grad of. Fort Worth. Yes, Fort Worth. We have South Midwestern Seminary, which is in Missouri, and you have Golden Gate Seminary. Well, I can tell you, I almost went to Golden Gate. So my wife says this, so I got to move on. I'm trying to slow it down. When anyone wants me to slow it down, you want me to speed it up. I can't feel it. Okay. In 1930, the Northern and Southern Baptists tried to do that. And this is what they make a deal. Any new church west of the Mississippi, because we were going into a depression, people were moving out west to get young. Whoever gets in a town first, the idea the other denomination would stay out of the town. For example, if we go to Phoenix, Arizona, and the Northern Baptist Church were there first, then we would say, we won't go into Phoenix, Arizona. But if the Southern Baptist was first in Flagstaff, Arizona, the Northern Baptist would not go to that Southern Baptist. Folks, a lot of Southern people they moved to the West. They didn't like to go to the Baptist. So I hate to say this, but we cheated. We majorly cheated, especially in California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, and of course Arizona and New Mexico. Boy, did we cheat. We were in there. They had a Northern Baptist Church and we Baptist. We come in there. That Southern people didn't want to go. So the Northern Baptist said, okay, that's what we could do. We're changing our name. We're going to be American Baptist. Never should be Southern Baptist. In 1963, the Southern Baptist adopted what we call the Baptist Faith and Message. It is a statement of doctrines. Now, when we finish this, church history, we're going right into doctrines. And all of the doctrines fit right into the Southern Baptist. The thing is, the Southern Baptist, we like to argue. So, from 1963 all the way up to last year, you got people, we need to change this word, we need to change that paragraph, we need to change this, that, and the other. And it was a mess. But I still like the 1963. Now they have one very similar kind of model language, I think it's 2010 edition. But to me, the 63 is the best, in my opinion. But anyway, moving on. 1995. We gotta go back to the Civil War because Southern Baptists did some nasty things. Not all of them, but especially around cities like Augusta, Savannah, Birmingham, even Nashville, parts of Atlanta. You had Southern Baptist ministers because of the issue of slavery. They would actually preach from their pulpits that African Americans, black people, had no souls. They were just one step above them. And they had no business being in churches and stuff like that. But in the 1930s, some Baptists really aligned with Southern Baptists, but we called them National Baptists because we couldn't call them Americans. We didn't want them to be with Northern. And we would support them financially, let the people come to center, but still there was this 1995 in Atlanta, Georgia, the Southern Baptist apology to all the black people for the last 150. A lady at that convention because she was the first Asian woman elected on the Southern Baptist committee and was on the platform at that particular time when this formal apology was made. If that lady is here, would you please stand? Hey. Woohoo! Woohoo! Ladies and gentlemen, my wife. I was so jealous. They should have picked me. From Georgia, I wanted to visit family. They wouldn't pay for me. They wanted my wife. And she didn't find out right here. My wife will go down in Southern Baptist System. Jerry says I need to be on.
I'm trying the video.
New Orleans, the first African American to hold the position of president of our Southern Baptist Convention. We've come a long way. We're not perfect, but we've come a long way. Now that's Southern Baptist history. I'm going to move on. I'm coming back, Jerry. I'm back in the camera. Post-war era. Reconstruction. Westward movements. Wagon trains. Everybody going west. Big cities. Overcrowding. Second Great Awakening spread to Europe. Many small churches experienced revival. A worldwide missionary movement started with missionaries from all other denominations, even some of those that were hardcore Calvinists. You had a lot of men. Bartow W. Stone and Schofield. I'm going to tell you about these two men. Schofield, I may shock some people out there, even though a lot of people kind of fudge on some of the history. Schofield was never a theologian. Schofield was a judge. He was a lawyer. What happened to Schofield, why his Bible got so famous, was this. In church, I'm sorry, it's a habit, Jerry. He was in a church, and a publisher of Bibles saw that he had some notes. The Bible was real thick, and he started looking at the notes, and he asked Dr. Schofield, "Can I publish a Bible with your notes in it?" And that's where we get the Schofield Bible. Now, the problem with the Schofield Bible is that it is a good Bible, but there are some references that I would personally question about theology. The reason is he wasn't a Bible scholar. These were his own personal notes. Okay? We have the Schofield Bible, don't throw it away. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Barton W. Rolling Stone. I like this guy because this is one of the most humble guys I've ever run across a story. This guy, what do you think? In Kentucky, a revival broke out. A Pentecostal revival, just like the first one. He had over 10,000 people. This is right after the American Civil War. In a field. Tents, shelters, brush arbor. Anybody know what a brush arbor is? That's where you just set up poles and put a bunch of bushes on top and you just make some seats in a brush arbor. 10,000 people were meeting there every day for almost a month. People were getting saved left and right. People were getting called to ministry. But yet, how many of you have heard this name? Very humble man. Even in his preaching, he would say, don't ever mention my name in the newspapers. This is all the work of God. He never took credit. So that's why he's there. We have other people like Spurgeon. I like Spurgeon because he was, even though he was from England, Eastern America, he was kind of weird. He was kind of wild. He was the only man that had a reputation when he would preach. I mean, let me do this. I can't do that. I'll use your hand. I won't put it in my mouth. He would preach with a big stogie. He had an ashtray right in front. And he would preach and he'd flick his ashes and then preach. They said even tobacco juice would start running out. It was hilarious. And when I first found out about it, I thought it was hysterical. Until I went to Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary with huge, bigger than life-size oil paintings of the founders of that seminary. And every one of them sitting in the chair, and you can see where the cigar was actually painted out.
Oh.
Preachers were great cigar and pipe smokers of that day and time. I didn't put it in my mouth. You had men like Booth, started the Salvation Army. You had, I forgot this guy. Oh, that was Moody. Hang on, there's Booth. There's Moody. And there's Charles Finney. These were great men of the mid to late 18th century that did some wonderful work. Even today, if you read their material, it's good, solid stuff. The only question I have is about Mr. Booth there, the starter of the Salvation Army. Good, sound theology, but the one thing that really bothered me the most about him, he took out baptism altogether. And he was in England, people would sprinkle, they had believers baptism, all this kind of stuff. He said, well, what we'll do, we'll just completely do away with baptism, because all it is a show anyway. So that's the only thing I would strongly disagree with. Post-Civil War era, a wave of liberalism, Darwinism, a new surge of Christianity called the Holiness Movement. Now Darwin, even though in his later years he went back and said, you know, all that stuff I said about evolution was just a bunch of... When we get into creationism, there's two things about evolution that you need to know. One, it's a closed system. It does not work unless you believe two principles. And the principles, if you want to find out, have to be in here at class. When I cover creation, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to leave you wanting more. Okay, many new groups and denominations formed. This is a list of some of the groups that formed. My granddad's church in Nazarene, Christian Missionary Alliance, Church of God Anderson, all these Free Will Baptists, all these groups popped up. Now they had a cliche called in the holiness, you got to talk holy, you got to walk holy, and you got to look holy. And that's where you get the long dresses and the high collars and all into the Victorian age of the 20th century. down, we're going to talk more about these cult groups, but a lot of cult groups started during this time. And if you want to find out what those cult groups are, you gotta cover that area. Okay, now, 1900. It was in 1899, December the 31st, a group right outside of Springfield, Missouri, in an old farmhouse met at a retreat. Now, what would happen? They were all going to go up into their rooms. I forgot to say that. Okay, I haven't done TV in a long time. They would meet up in their rooms, and they would pray that God would do miracles and something mighty in the 20th century. They all went to them, they fasted, they prayed the whole night. They came down in the morning for breakfast, and kind of all of them were kind of in this, I won't use the word trance, but like they were dazed, they were just, and they were looking at each other. Did something happen to you in your room? Yeah. Now, they were in separate rooms, men and women. Something happened in your room? Yeah. They all got baptized with the Holy Ghost, and they all began to speak in other languages. Now, they were all shocked because they came from all different backgrounds. And back, Jerry. One of the guys went to California to an apostolic church called Azusa. They began to share this experience of the power of the Holy Spirit. From 1905 to 1950, 24 hours a day, news went worldwide. The Azusa Street Revival. It was so spread. People were taking ships from Europe, from Asia, all over the world to come to this revival. People were getting healed. People were getting saved. Miracles were abounding. And because of this, century would usher in the largest growth of Christianity worldwide in the history of man. Many scholars and theologians, even though we live in this time, we don't see it as being one of the largest worldwide movements of Christianity since the beginning of time as we know it. And the 20th century would usher that in. Now you have a lot of people, and I like these people especially because they did something brand new. The first one over here to the far left is Amy Semple McPherson. Anybody ever heard that name before? Have you heard of the Foursquare Church? Have you heard of Calvary and Hope Chapels? But that's the founder. That's where it all got started, right there, in the 1920s and 30s. The problem was this: she was a great woman. She was one of the first to start using radio. Okay. The bad news is that she kind of got a little pride there. She had an affair, faked her kidnapping, moved down to Mexico with her boyfriend and all that kind of stuff. This guy right here, Billy Sunday, former pro baseball player, also got into radio. And the way he would preach, he said, just remember, Satan's trying to throw you a curveball, but Jesus is the umpire. He says you want to swing and hit that ball way out in the field there. And he would, thank you, Jesus. And he'd run. He'd get on first base, and he'd look, and Jesus would say, don't look behind, keep running. And he'd run to second base. And yes, he was halfway there. He said, and he would hear Jesus say, don't stop now. And he would go to third base. And finally at third base, he would raise his hand, and Jesus would say, come on home, sinner. Come on home, I'm waiting for you. I heard one of those sermons. That's why I can do it really good. Okay, Catherine Kuhlman never claimed to be a faith healer, never claimed to be a preacher. All she did was to share and pray for you. She did have a gift called the word of knowledge. We have Dietrich Bonhoeffer on the radio. He was the only Christian in Europe and in the Americas, because he was German, to preach against Adolf Hitler. And of course, and he did it on radio, paid with his life. Fulton Sheen, anybody remember Fulton Sheen? Radios of the early TVs. Corrie ten Boom. A lot of European radio before she came to the United States. David Wilkerson, King Challenge. Oral Roberts. Got a wonderful university. Anybody know this guy right there? Billy Graham. Got two Billies under each other. Anybody know this guy? I forgot his name, that's why I'm asking. Hey, I'm an old guy. No, it's Norman Vincent Peale. So, now, we got a little more time. These giants were the first to use mass media to reach laws in the first half of the 1900s. We're going to move. World War II. A lot was happening there. People started getting serious. Something happened by 1946 that really changed Christianity in a positive way. Israel became a nation in 1946. It was like all these scriptures that we had been reading were all of a sudden coming true. We thought that, well, maybe that was just a fairy tale, that Israel never returned and become a nation. But yet it fulfilled Bible prophecy. Wonderful. Now here we are in the 1950s. We call it the American Dream Era. Now some of you may not remember that, but some of us old folks can remember growing up in the 50s. You know, all the and television. I remember the first TV, we had one station that came on at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It shut off at 9 o'clock at night. And everybody, we had the first TV within 4 or 5 hours. We had the whole neighborhood, every single house, just sitting there. Watching a screen that was about that. Oh, man. Something else happened. 1950s life was good. But other things started happening by the mid-60s. Vietnam, 50s. Going to the moon, Cold War. Riots. Change came fast in the mid-1960s. Young people were not happy. Now, a lot of scholars believe that Mom and Dad, after World War II, they had the American dream. And they started spoiling kids.
Do you know?
Kids,
Do you
they didn't know how to work.
This is
They
YouTube.
didn't know.
Oh.
Values a lot. Big change came in the 60s and 70s. Was any of us a hippie? Am I the only hand? I was a surfer. Vatican II, 1965, radically changed the Catholic Church from what it is today. We had the Jesus movement. Now, folks, I am a result of the Jesus movement. I got saved in 1967. The Jesus movement was populating. I was at Time magazine, reading articles and stuff on this, but I got saved. I was 21 years old. Okay. Jesus movement was very radical. Did something. The Jesus movement brought a wave of young energy. I call this the 20th century. New lights, low lights, bit like this. They thought they were making fun of Christianity by this hippie type Jesus movement. They were very against it. I remember preachers preaching this Jesus movement. All it is right out of hell itself. Corrupt their kids and stuff like that. Oh, it was awful. But many groups started going on up streets, Albert John's, Four Square, JU churches, independent charismatic churches started going like crazy. Para-church organizations began to form. Para-churches mean they're not the church, they're an organization to go in and help the church. And here's a list of them. Anybody familiar with any of those? Awana, okay. Fellowship of Christian Campus Crusade, Youth Commission, Prophecies, Navigators, Focus on the Family, Christian Apologetics and Research. A lot of new groups started forming. This was not a bad thing. It was a good thing. And we have the later part of the 20th century. You have a whole lot. Beth Moore, great woman writer. Bill Bright, Sherry Farwell. Yes, Chuck Smith, Hal Lindsey, Tim LaHaye. I think that's Swindoll. I forgot. Swindoll. Focus on the Family. Dobson. Pat Robinson. You know, Pat Robinson was always a Southern Baptist minister. I forgot this guy. Rick Warren. And Joyce Meyer. They're all great people that use.
So hopefully it will display. We're using the audio of this now. So after
These
the
are
last
celebrities.
picture, we
I
take it
got some
out.
old ones here because
The
I
next
thought
one
maybe we might get old folks like Mimi in here. These are celebrities that publicly proclaim their faith in Christ. And so I just because of the Jesus movement. Anybody know who this is? Anybody know what college meeting done?
What does she do? On Facebook now.
Which I partially am okay. Now, mega churches popping up worldwide. What are the good things? What are the bad things about these churches? Next week we'll talk about it.
And so I asked this cat when she went back to the church restarted. Oh, I didn't hear it. I couldn't hear it. I'm bad. Okay. It's okay. So they're done.
Are we all set up for well, no. Yeah, got it.
I should shoot through the reservation, yeah? The flight. Flight reservation.
Some of you strong gentlemen,
How do you do it?